Hi, welcome to Explore HVAC and Home Services podcast, where we uncover stories, strategies, and even some secrets behind successful businesses. I'm your host, Pam Mashburn, and today we're joined with a special guest from Montgomery, Alabama, James Holland. He's with Hands Heating and Air. Hey, welcome, James.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We'll just get started with, how did you first get involved in the HVAC industry?
So I was 18 working for Winn-Dixie and no plans to do anything really.
hmm
And my best friend's dad at the time needed a helper. And so I went to work for him running ductwork in attics in apartment complexes in Mobile.
Oh, in Mobile.
You
Were you living in
know,
Mobile?
I was in Montgomery, but
Oh,
that's where that apartment complex where the job was.
uh-huh.
And so he asked me if I would come work for him. And that's how I got started in air conditioning.
Wow. It's hot down in Mobile. I'm surprised you kept going. So now you tell me what your role is at Hands Heating and Air.
I'm the vice president of Hands Heating Air. So I run the day-to-day operations for Hands.
So tell us a little bit about Hands Heating and Air, like just so people that are listening can relate. How big are you guys? Like how many techs,
So,
fans?
so we have 15, 16 employees.
Okay.
We're a service and replacement company. We don't do a lot of new construction. We do a few custom homes here and there, but
Mhm.
mainly just service and replacement. So we fix your needs in your residential homes.
Okay. That sounds good. And what would you say now when you started when did you start at Hands Heating and Air?
I started in 2003.
Okay. And what did you were you a tech?
I came in as a service technician.
Okay.
I was hired by Alex, who was my old boss, and
Oh yeah, I know Alex. He's
yeah,
a great
so
guy.
he hired me. Needed to make sure they had enough work for me when I came to work for them. But I started off as a technician and stayed a technician until the position changed to vice president.
Did you go right from technician to vice
I
president?
did.
Wow.
It was a big change.
Uh-huh.
So Alex was moving. He was moving to Las Vegas, and then Hans needed someone to take the position, and he offered it to me, and
Wow.
so it was life changing.
I bet it was. So what do you think Hans saw in you to promote you?
I hope he saw somebody that was dedicated and loyal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like I pride myself in running everywhere I go when I'm working. So try to hustle. And so I think he saw that I was a hard worker.
Mm-hmm.
And so that kind of just gave him the indication that I was going to be a good leader too.
Yeah. And you have been. You run a really great ship over there. In fact, tell me what you think, like, because there's a lot. I mean, I haven't counted recently, but I would say there's at least 50 competitors in your market.
It's actually probably more than that.
Yeah, I think there is. I'm being
Yeah.
conservative. I would say there's a lot more than that. But so tell me, why do people pick Hands? Like, what do y'all think is your biggest strength?
We have a really good reputation. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's just honesty, integrity. That's how we try to run everything. Technicians, they try to teach and educate the customers.
Mm-hmm.
And so our reputation is our key thing.
Yeah. So, okay, so you said that you teach and educate customers. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, knowing what you're replacing or knowing what your parts that are broken, if you have a little bit of education, you can make a better decision on what needs
hmm
to be done to your unit.
Right. And it also sets your guys up the authority, right? It's not like, oh, hey, I got this in my truck. I'm going to put this in.
No, they become teachers when they go into a house.
Well, when you do that, it sounds like you have to be more cautious about who you hire. So is that something that you train up or is it something you look for? What do you look for?
It's when you hire or when we hire, we really hire for communication skills.
hmm
And you can usually look at somebody within just a few minutes and know how they carry themselves. We want someone that's going to carry themselves very well when they go into a house. So, and then we can train them everything else.
Yeah. I was listening in on some training that you guys were doing and I thought it was really interesting. It was actually Alex that was doing it, and he talked about the fact that most of the time you're there with women,
Mhm.
and most of the techs are men, and just how to actually like how to walk into the house, and just really to make that homeowner feel safe.
Absolutely. I mean, you just don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. It is, and do your guys ever feel on the other flip side of that? Do
Mhm.
you or your guys ever feel weird about going into people's houses?
Not at all.
You're
No,
like,
it's a day in and day out thing. They do it many times a day. So it's just second nature for
okay, what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen
them.
when you've gone on things, like, you're like, "Oh my gosh." Like, have you ever gone in a hoarder's house?
Many hoarders' houses.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, that's very, actually very common. I mean, you go
Really?
in and sometimes it's just paths to the unit, and that's their way of life, and you just roll with it because that's how they live. So
Do you
there's
wear like
no
a
judge.
face mask, a hazmat suit?
No, I mean that would sometimes you would think that would kind of be disrespectful to them. So,
Right, that's
but you
true.
just you just roll with no disrespect to the customers and just roll with what they have.
Hmm.
So, I mean, we've had animals living in ductwork before, and
Oh yeah, what's the weirdest animal?
we've had raccoons and we've had squirrels, and a
Did
couple
the
times.
homeowners know it?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Okay.
I've been chased out of an attic by a squirrel before, fell out of the attic. Customers every time I go to her house, she reminds me about it.
Did you like go through the sheetrock?
No, I fell out of the attic hole. So,
Oh, did
yeah,
you hurt yourself?
I did not.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. Did you
No,
hurt yourself?
not at all. I actually, it was. I had a lot of adrenaline running.
A pet.
Yeah.
There's a little squirrel. Did you chase the squirrel out, or did it
No,
protect its home?
it disappeared.
It did. Okay, that's funny. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Um, what I want to kind of still get into those technician things because I find this fascinating. What do you think? What are the biggest mistakes that you see with technicians when they're talking to homeowners, or what things do you try to teach your guys not to do? I guess.
So, like I kind of said earlier, we like to be teachers. Not our guys in general, but just the industry. Technicians sometimes try to make customers feel stupid. And so that would be one of the biggest mistakes. Instead of helping them helping them along with the knowledge, they just talk down to them. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes customers make with
Or
technicians
technician.
make with customers
Yeah.
is just talking down to them.
Yeah, gosh. So, like, do you go out with your technicians for a while and then you, like, once they hit a certain point, you go, okay, I think they can go out on their own, or how did you do that?
So when we hire new technicians, they ride along with our top guys.
Mhm.
So Cash really does a lot of the training on jobs.
And Cash is the name of the guy that's cutting.
Yeah, his name is actually Cash.
I know, I love that.
So,
Because I'd like more cash for my business too.
Yeah, he does. He does a great job, and kind of because he's been with us for a long time, so he knows the ropes and kind of shows the guys along and teaches the new ones up.
How many of the folks that you hire do you end up letting go because they just can't adapt? Many?
We don't have a lot of turnover.
Yeah.
We really haven't had many people ever leave to go to another competitor.
Wow.
We've had people go into other fields. We've had people open their own companies.
Mhm.
But we typically have a lot of people stay.
What do you attribute that to?
Try to treat them like their family. I mean, Hans is one of the most amazing men I've ever met. I mean, he really
He's
loves
amazing.
everybody the same, no matter what it is. He
Mhm.
he's a great mentor and boss to all of us.
Well, because in this industry, there's a lot of poaching that goes on.
There is.
There is. And in fact, I feel like we're seeing more of it because when private equity comes in, people tend to move and transition a lot faster.
Well, the share or the pie, it's not getting any bigger. And so there's not a whole lot of people coming into the industry, and you're getting people to retire out. So everybody's fighting over that real good piece of pie.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's interesting. So you're going to have face some of those same things. Where do you find good talent?
You meet someone
Mhm.
and they have good communication skills, and you bring them in on the bottom, and you teach them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard somebody, one of the other podcasts say we hire for attitude
Mhm.
and then train for aptitude. And
Absolutely.
I thought that was a really good
Great
saying.
statement.
Mm-hmm. Um, it sounds like your technicians are above average. Um, but I have this question down. I think it's really a good one. It says, what separates an average technician from one who consistently creates great customer experiences? What do you think that is?
Hmm. Um, it's communication, and even shy technicians. We try to teach them how to interact with customers, but
Mhm.
the communication really separates a good technician. The knowledge, you could be the smartest technician and have a bad customer experience
Right.
because of communication.
Right.
So communication is what separates bad technicians and good technicians.
Do you think that because we're in the South, it's easier for those folks for technicians to have better customer experiences?
Southern hospitality is a real thing.
It
So
is.
it is. I mean, and people are used to that. And so if you get somebody that comes into your house and they don't have that same hospitality to you, then it can change your experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, let's get back to you a little bit. Because you're leading this group now. And I mean, and you're not just sitting in an office, you're actually out there
Mhm.
in the field helping with sales and I don't know, do you help with installs?
Every once in a while, I
Uh-huh.
mean, if we're really busy, I don't mind getting in the attics or getting under houses with the
Yeah.
guys. So yeah.
So, what have you learned? Because I mean, you worked your way up. What are some of the leadership skills that you've really had to develop to lead this crew?
It's there's a lot of different leadership styles. I mean, there's the iron fist, there's the
Hmm.
too leniency. I may be on the softer side of leadership, where I've worked for people that are too hard, but there's really a happy median in treating people with respect and then just being too tough on them.
Hmm.
So you want to constantly, actually praise people when they deserve it, and it's one of those things that you just want to treat people with kindness. And I think leading that way makes a difference. That's how Hans treats all of us, and I kind of model my leadership after him.
Hmm.
I don't raise my voice. Hans has never raised his voice to me, so I don't yell at the guys. And I've seen too many owners do that, and I've worked for companies that's how they operate.
Yeah. Yeah. There is, and I think too, the expectations, 40 years ago,
Mhm.
um, people, I think people's expectations have changed. I don't think people have changed.
No, I think they have to. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you've got ladies that work in the office too.
Mhm.
I wanted to talk a little bit about, and I know that isn't some, I'm kind of taking you off guard on this, but I want to talk a little bit about just that customer experience in the office. Because some of our people that listen to the podcast, they don't have office staff yet. They're still answering the phones themselves. And some are looking to hire people. When you're hiring people to be the first contact, what's some tips that you could give us?
So we have Becky and Janae in the office, and both of them do a phenomenal job with customer service. I
They're
mean,
both so nice. Yeah.
yeah, and it's just when they answer the phone, it's not like they're talking to somebody, or it's sometimes you call someone and it's like it's an inconvenience.
Or a bother. Yeah.
You're calling a business and you're inconveniencing them. So
Yeah.
we don't want to ever have that attitude. And it's like when somebody calls, it's they treat them like it's their friend calling. So I think at making them feel special on the phone, that just really enhances the customer service experience.
So, what are some things that you do to test for that when you're hiring people, or do you?
I mean, you really, it's just the way they talk in the interviews. I mean, but sometimes when you hire, you can't be afraid to fire when needed, right? So don't let that reflect on you if it's a bad hire. But typically, you can usually tell the people in the interviews, unless they're just really BSing you.
Yeah. Well, there's times when people are going through some seasons. How do you like? I find in my own business, I've got people that just are getting married and they're distracted, or they just had a baby and they've got childcare issues or whatever. How do you how do you kind of manage people through those seasons?
So you have to relate, right? So we've all gone through things, and not just looking at it from the outside. You kind of have to remember the things that you went through as well. And so if you do that, sometimes you can relate to their
Yeah.
situation and talk them through it and things like that. But you just can't beat them from the outside because we all go through things.
Right. Because they're still people that have
Right.
lives outside of
That's right.
our businesses. Um, now, um, you tell me about what your guys wear, because that's become like a big question that a lot of people are talking about. Like, do they wear the button down shirts? Do they wear golf shirts?
They wear a polo style shirt and then just a thin kind of performance pant that's comfortable, a little stretch for being up in attics and stuff. So they wear just a blue shirt with the gray pants.
Yeah. And you guys have done a good job with branding hands. You guys are yellow, white with a little light blue, right? How long have you guys had that logo?
Um, it's been very similar since the beginning, since
Hmm.
2003. We did a logo revamp probably in 2013.
Yeah. What'd you do
So
on the revamp?
just gave it a little bit different curves. I mean, it was just kind of updated.
Yeah. But you still kept the sunshine kind of look to it, right?
Same colors, same everything. Just that the overall picture looked a little different.
Mm-hmm. I'm going off script a little bit, but in our area, so Hans's last name is Luke Wire,
Mhm.
and there's another HVAC company that is called Luke Wire
Mhm.
HVAC. So how do you guys navigate that? Because I'm sure you guys have people that are calling you guys thinking it's Luke Wire and vice versa. Do y'all ever talk to the other company and say anything? I mean,
No,
like,
we see them in passing, but,
yeah,
that was man, that's been 20 something years ago that, Hands reopened as Hands Heating and Air. But it's still a little bit of an issue, but,
yeah.
I mean, not bad.
But time has kind of
Yeah.
solved that, right? Okay. Tell me something um, about the sales process because I think you guys have really dialed in your sales process, especially because you guys do a large percentage of installs
Mm.
versus just service. Do you have any tips for people listening that are trying to figure out how to hone in their close rates and stuff like that?
Honesty,
Yeah.
no high pressure. Make sure you're telling the customer what they actually need, not what you wanna sell them.
Mm,
So those 3 things are huge.
yeah. And then I think your technicians have done a really good job beforehand in the decision making process because they've
Absolutely.
given them a lot of data, right?
Correct.
So I think that's great. Um, what's something about the HVAC industry that outsiders would never expect?
It's trades for a long time kinda got a bad rep, and everybody thought college was the only way to go, but HVAC is a phenomenal career. I mean, it's great. I mean, it can take care of your family, it's taking care of my family, but it is a phenomenal career that people just don't see it. You know, I think it gets looked down on sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's might be changing. I just saw an article in the Wall Street Journal that said that a lot of white collar workers are now turning to the trades
Mhm.
because the instability and it's trying to become low pay.
The market got
So,
flooded with a lot of college graduates that
yeah,
there were no high paying jobs for.
right. Well, and AI is coming in and taking a lot of those jobs, unfortunately. I know I send my kids off to college and say, be a software engineer, you'll never lose your job. And now AI is taking a lot of
Yeah.
those jobs.
AI can't fix an air conditioner.
No, it cannot, at least not yet. Um, which kind of segues into the next one, which is how do you see the HVAC industry changing over the next 5 to 10 years? What do you predict?
Um, I see a lot more of the same.
Hmm.
Um, the government makes changes with efficiencies and SEERs, so technology is coming into play. So there's a lot of that. So there's a lot of knowledge that will have to be learned by technicians because of the technologies. But I think that realistically, air conditioners are air conditioners, and their dehumidification and cooling is what they're going to do. So I think it's going to be a lot of the same, but just higher technology.
Interesting, interesting. Um, if a young technician is listening to this and wants to grow into a leadership role, like what you've done, what advice would you give them?
Make yourself stand out. Um, don't stand around. I mean, if there's a job to be done, pick up a broom. Don't don't go slow. Hustle. Make yourself visible. Make yourself known, and make yourself where. I mean, somebody can't survive without you. You're be reliable.
Be reliable. Gosh, that's an old fashioned trait that nobody talks about anymore.
Loyalty and reliability.
Hmm. That somebody can count on. Yep,
Absolutely.
I love that. Um, have learned some interesting things about what you find in a house and also about educating technicians. And we have really not talked about that very much on this show. And I want to ask one more question about that. Like I know you guys do one-on-one training. Do you guys also have training, like and like classroom training or anything like that?
So different manufacturers and different supply houses, they have training. So the guys have abilities to go see different units and get actual on-site training. Alabama Power offers some training outside of it that new guys can come in and
Mm,
go through a staggered training from beginning to expert kind of levels. So there's a lot of training outside of just the one-on-one and on jobs that can be done by the technicians.
yeah, that's great. Hey, thanks, James, for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And for our listeners, thank you for joining us on Explore HVAC and Home Services. Um, got some really great, valuable advice. Remember to subscribe for more insights, some stories, and of course, tips from these leaders in HVAC and home services. But until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep exploring.